I could just cut them off more. And we'll, ow. Ooh, that's still hot. Hot. Ouch. What's up, guys, and welcome back to Thena's Garage. In today's video, we're gonna be putting a light bar in the hood bulge. Well, let's get right into it. Shout out to Snail Trail 4x4. I'll leave a link in the description where I got this idea from. So this is the 41-inch Nightlight single row LED light bar. I actually got this one in yellow, so it should be yellow LEDs. I also got the Nightlight kit over here, like a wiring harness, plus because I wanted the light to be kind of factory on the Tundra, I got a factory switch from Nightlight on the Tundra. Now, I've went with Nightlight stuff before on several of my other vehicles and four-wheeler I had. They are pretty cheap, but they worked out all right. So I'll leave links to all this stuff down below in the description, but let's get over to the truck and begin this installation. So fair warning for everyone, it is very, very windy today. There's stuff blowing around everywhere. I think we're supposed to have like 70-mile-per-hour gusts at some point. I'm sure we're having it right now. But we need to take this plastic hood bulge off, which I've showed you guys in the past how to do it. There are 3 10mm bolts underneath here, so we just need to take those out, and then everything should kind of pop out, hopefully. It did break on me in the past, so it probably will again, but let me get those bolts out and this thing pulled off. Smash that like button for me. Okay, so I got the hood bulge off. It came off pretty easy. I don't think I broke anything. There are several pieces on here that are already broken. Like I said before, this thing has a lot of repair hot glue stuff from me from previously trying to get it off. I'm surprised it actually has stayed on here this long. So now we need to do some cutting, it looks like. From the Snail Trail 4x4's video, it looks like we're gonna have to cut these tabs out, which I kind of knew that to begin with. You have to cut these 3 support brackets first, and then some of these tabs, these little tabs here. So I'm gonna get an angle grinder and try to start cutting those out. I think I've changed my mind, and what I might do is try to run this wiring harness through the firewall first and see how that goes. Now, unfortunately, they give you this massive clip here to try and get it through the firewall. Either way, it's gonna be a pain in the ass. So I may end up having to clip these things, and then obviously my wire here, I'm going to run through the hood. So we'll see how hard that is as well. It does come with little clamps here that I taped off, so I didn't bend or break them, but I probably am gonna go with a different clip. So we will see here in a second. I do believe though, I want to try to get this thing through the firewall on the driver's side, and from there, maybe do some finagling inside the truck. It's hard to see in this video. Let me see if I can zoom in here. That piece right there is a way to get through the firewalls, right there. So I think I'll be able to cut into that. It's like a big rubber grommet. I'm going to go in underneath the driver's side now and try to find that. But in order to do that, we have to take a few things off. You're gonna wanna take this kick panel off, which I already did. You just pull up on it. And this side piece, I may actually take these Husky mats out because they're kind of in the way. This kick panel off, and this side piece just kind of pops out, but there is a 10mm nut back here, or at least I thought there was. It looks like it might be just a screw, not a nut. It's like a little plastic cap. So I'm gonna set those here, and now I should be able to get underneath here and try to see where those wires are coming through. Okay, I think it's right here. So let me get you guys in here and I can show you. It might be hard to see, but this wiring harness goes up and through the carpet up here. See if you can see. Right here, goes through the carpet, and there's that rubber grommet piece that goes through the firewall. So what we're going to do is cut a small slit through that and try to slide this wire through there. And it should actually be relatively simple because it's going to come right through there, and I have this piece out right here, and this is where it's actually going to be going into. So I need to take this kick panel off as well. Okay, just to show you, I went up through the engine and poked a screwdriver just right there through that little grommet so that I could kind of have access to it. As you can see, it's really hard to get in here. It's right there. There's not a lot of light in here, but I poked through, and I'm going to attempt to get that wire through. It's probably going to be a pain in the ass with that clip on it, so I may end up cutting the clip. I'm not sure, but I'll try to do it. Probably going to be off camera because I don't have anyone to hold this for me, and my tripod won't fit in the truck. So let me see if I can do this real quick. Okay, I went a different route. There's actually a small hole. It's going to be really hard to see, but there's a tiny hole up under there in that grommet. There's like a nipple on the outside and a small hole on this side, and I cut the nipple on the outside, and I cut the wire, the little clip, because I'm not going to need that clip. I can just wire these together, and I basically slid this wire through that clip. So basically I cut the damn grommet for no reason. So I should have plenty of room now with this wire. I'll strip it back and connect it back inside here, and then run it up to here. So let me figure out how to get this kick panel out. The kick panel was a 10mm bolt right here, a 10mm bolt over there, and I just gave it a tug, and it's kind of coming loose. There, and hard to do one-handed. And okay, it's loose now, so I should be able to pop that new switch in down here and get everything wired up. Thankfully, this switch has a plug on the back, so I should be able to just wire these new lights into it and be good to go. So the kit comes, the light switch kit comes with this switch. Oh my goodness, the wind. But it does not fit in my stock placement here. So what I'm going to do, I think I literally don't even care, which I don't care about any of this. I'm just going to cut the 3 wires here and on this other switch, and probably solder them together with some connections and just be done with it, and just use this as an extension for the wire underneath there. So that's what I'm going to do right now, and then I'll use this, which comes with the new plug I got to fit Toyotas, and I'll wire this in, and I'll show you how I'm wiring it and what they recommend. So that's what I'm going to do real quick, and I'll bring you guys back. So I use these little connectors here to connect all these 3 right here, and they all heat shrink and have some solder in them. So I'm pretty sure they have a great connection. Hopefully they do. I don't actually know. I'm going to slide this little sleeve over as much as I can. And now I pulled most of this wire through, and I'll have to pull it back through now. And I'll wire this other side to this switch. But I'm going to show you the layouts you can do, which I'm going to basically do the easiest one so that I don't have to do any other wiring. So Nylite gives you this little thing, and you can either have it where the LED bar little light symbol is on anytime the key is turned, or you can just have it to where it's off all the time until you push the button in and both lights up. This is the easier one because you don't have to do any other wiring into the accessories, like a 12-volt accessory. So I'm just going to do this one because we already have 3 wires coming into the vehicle. It's going to be a lot easier. I don't have to wire anything else. And if later on I want to do this, I can, but I don't really care about having that backlit. I know where this is going to be, so I'm not worried about it. Let's do this. So according to Nylite's little guide there, green goes to positive, black goes to negative, which is black, and then white coming out of our harness is the outgoing, and that will be our 2 reds. Now to test this, we're going to plug this into the switch, go to our end of our wiring harness, put the positive and negative on, and then turn this switch on, and we should hear the relay click if it's working correctly, and we should get some color here. So let's go try that. Okay, it is crudely hooked up, and if we see, the light turns on, and I can hear the relay clicking, which you probably can't in this video. So it's all working and all good. Let's go undo the positive and negative, put this plug in, tuck everything up in here, and get to the front. So before I put everything away, the light switch is in. Before I do all that, I'm going to make sure everything is good up there. I'm going to make sure it's all connected and tight. That way I can see if I need to pull this string more or less, or give it some more slack, and then when I'm done I can tie it all up, tuck it in, zip tie it, and be done with it. So let's move on up to the front and try to fish this wire through the hood. I'm going to try and take this wiring harness here, and there's a small hole in the hood right up here that I'm going to try to fish this wire through, because the hood is hollow all the way up here. And if we close the hood a little bit, you can see down in there. So I think if I can try and fish that thing through, this wire's pretty stiff. It's a heavier wire. It's like 14 gauge, I believe. I'm going to try to fish it through up there. I've already got it like maybe that much in there, not very far. And I'm going to try to fish it through to see if I can see it. So hopefully this works. If not, I'm going to get one of those stiff rods and connect it to the end of the wire and try to pull it through. Okay, I was able to slowly fish it through. It actually didn't take that long, maybe 2 minutes. It worked out pretty well. So now that I know that's through there, I'm going to kind of run this around here. Again, I don't want to make anything permanent until I get the light in. So now that that's at least in here and we know it's in there, I can lower this back down, make sure nothing's pinching. And now we're gonna have to cut these brackets. I probably should measure these and see where to cut them, but I'm not going to. I'm just literally gonna chop these things off underneath here and right there and right here and down here to get rid of them. And I'm gonna kind of follow what that snail 4x4 did. So I'm just gonna get my angle grinder, chop them off, and hopefully it works out. All right, all the tabs are cut. Hopefully they're cut right. If anything, I could just cut them off more. And we'll, ow, ow, ow. Ooh, it's still hot. Hot, hot, hot. Ouch. Anyway, let's throw these pieces out and not drop them all over the floor and lose them. Now let's get our light bar and see how this thing fits. Okie dokie. I mean, look at there. So I'm going to just exactly copy like what he did and put the brackets opposite of these little holes that are already drilled here and go from there. So let me get a drill bit and figure out what size I need. So on each corner of this hood bulge, there's already some pre-drilled holes, and what Snail Trail said is to basically go straight across from it on this side of this hump and flip your bracket around so it sits on this side, and that's literally what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to put the brackets on and start tightening them down a little bit. That way they're at least there. Okay, so I got the brackets halfway tightened down, so at least they won't fall over. And now I'm going to try and set this light bar in here. I'm not going to worry about wiring anything up until the light bar is in to make sure it fits. So let's see how this works. Just going to lightly thread this in, and I'm going to do so on the other side. The light bar is in. It looks decent. I'm not sure how I'm going to wire it. The kit does come with some of these female connectors, whatever they are, on the ends of these things. So I'll maybe just wire those in here. That way it's easy. I do have waterproof connectors, and I may use them, but I kind of just want to test this out and make sure everything's good, and then I can pull some of this wire back through, or at least just have it setting here and test it to make sure the slide even works. I mean, I hope it does. Let's use the connectors that it came with. So these are like the male connectors that it came with. I was able to get these male connectors on. They're pretty snug. I'm gonna wrap some electrical tape around them, but to make sure everything is working, set the positive and negative on here and see if these lights will turn on with the switch. I don't think the switch is on. Let me double check. Okay, the switch is off. Lower this just a touch, not knock anything loose. And I connect the negative, or positive, sorry, right here. Maybe. You go in there, and you in here. This light bar should come on. So this is the first time you're seeing it, the first time I'm seeing it. Let's hope it turns on. Did it turn on? It did, finally. Why did it take so long? I imagine it's because the connection is pretty loose, but look at that, guys. I love the freaking yellow. It looks perfect. It's like an amber color. It's obviously super bright. It's kind of high. I think I might tilt it down a little bit. I need to really adjust it at night so I can see, because it's just going off of my wall right now. But I believe I should be able to tighten these things down some now and tighten the bottom. I may have to cut, see this one over here a little bit. I may have to cut that down a little bit more. It's kind of tight, and you can see I can adjust it up or down. I can't adjust it down much more than this because of this side. So let me do a little bit of cutting over here and get it in. So I'm pretty happy with now the adjustments I have, because I cut a little bit more off of these tabs. And I think I'm okay with where it is right now. So my plan is to finish tightening up the wires inside the cab and just kind of tuck everything, get some of this wire here underneath here nice and squared away on that side, make sure this can lift all the way up, pull some of this wiring harness through, get everything wired in up here, just the positive and negative actually attached. I can unattach them now because I don't need them on there, and wire this relay up, just kind of get everything situated in where I want it. And I'll bring you guys back when I'm done with all this and show you what I've done and how it looks. It should be pretty clean inside the hood, and obviously inside the cab you won't see any wiring. And I'm going to try to figure out a little bit better way to put the hood bulge on. I think it'll look a little bit better. The engine bay is done, so everything is connected. The positive is here, the negative is here, the fuse is tucked down in there. The relay is connected right here, right where I connected my negative, my ground for the running lights. I kind of have everything tucked down along this. The wire coming from the hood is coming out of the hood. I have it zip tied to the actual hood like hinge right there. It's out of the way. There's enough slack that I can open and close no problem. And then it's ran underneath this wire, this weather stripping here. You can see some of it there. I just pushed back a little bit. I pulled most of it through, so I don't need a lot of it up here. There's not a lot extra hanging off, and it's not tight in there. I have a bunch of extra. Now I need to go into the truck, into the cab, and finish putting everything back together. The cab is done. Everything's put back together. My floor mat's back in. That one plastic bolt holding this kick panel in, the two 10s right there. I zip tied everything up, and here's the switch. Lights up. Looks pretty good. Fits in there pretty smooth. It's not as tight in there. Like, it's kind of sucked in a little bit, which I wish it was a little popped out more, but that's okay. Turns on and off. Works great. So the cab is done. Now what's left is to adjust this bar, which is going to be hard to do during the day. I may try to get it as good as I can. And these little bolts down here, I'm going to tighten them up, get them nice and tight, and then adjust these so this can angle up or down. I probably have it pretty much down. It's almost flat right now, so we'll see. But the next part is the grill. I want to get this grill on, or sorry, the hood bulge, but I want to keep the grill on the outside if I can. So we're going to try to do that. Let me cut these 2 bolts off, tighten them up, get all this situated, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do. So the way this thing works, you do have to take this black piece off in order for it to fit, which again, most of this is all broken on mine because it's old and fragile. So it's just going to be a bunch of screws on here. So I'm going to take all these Phillips head screws out, and this black piece should come right out. Now, what I'm going to try to do a little different, you can see a lot of these things are all broken off. I'm going to try to disassemble this little grill piece and maybe reattach it. So let me see if I can do that. It looks like it's just going to be some of these like plastic tabs I may have to cut off or grind off. I will try to attach a lot of these like pieces back so that it will attach back to the truck. I knew this was broken and I've needed to get a new one of these things for a while, but I just haven't because it's worked and hasn't came off. If this doesn't work, I will have to get a new one, but we will look at it in a second after I try to get all these plastic tabs off. Getting this plastic grate off was actually really easy. I just took a razor blade and sheared off some of these plastic tabs. Just be careful because I did cut myself a couple times with a razor blade because it was super sharp. So got a small little cut there and a cut there. Just be careful. But now, theoretically, this thing should just set back on here, and I can use those same screws to screw this in, and it should, I could even maybe glue it if I have to. Maybe it will cover it, but we need to get some hot glue on here and glue some of these broken tabs back in. That way they don't come off whenever I try to put this on. And I'll do one with it on and one with it off if it's possible to have that on there. We will see. So let me do some hot gluing real fast and see if I can get this all to work right. So it took me like 30 minutes or more to get this to fit. I actually had to readjust the bolts on the bottom and scoot the light bar back a little bit. But here is an example of the light bar with the grill in it. It's not all the way on. I don't have everything attached. So this is just an example of what it looks like. I kind of like the way this looks. It's like hidden in there. So it kind of looks factory, and then at night, obviously, you could flip it on. Now, the other way, I'll show you here in a second, is with the little grill out. I don't think that grill is going to block that much light, but it will block some. Let me know which way you guys think looks better. So let me flip it around and show you what it looks like. Let me turn it on first. I mean, I don't think it dims that much. I like how it kind of glows through there. It gives a little like Knight Rider vibe. Let me take it off and get a look at what it looks like without the grill. This is the look with it without the little grill. Now I'm kind of partial to the grill being on there, so let me turn the light on and show you what it looks like with no grill on it. Let me know what you guys think, if I should leave the grill on or off. I'm probably going to put it back on for now. That way I don't lose it or break it. So let me know in the comments down below which one you like more. Alright guys, that's going to be the end of this video. So, that's how I got it done. Hopefully you liked it. I think it looks pretty cool with the grill on there. It's pretty bright. Hopefully that B-roll footage shows that. If you want these things, all the stuff I used and bought will be in the links down below in the description. There will be links. They're affiliate links, so they help me out, help support my channel. If you want to help support my channel a little bit further, consider becoming a member, 99 cents a month. Most of the time I release videos a little bit sooner for members, and I have a few, maybe 1-2 videos a month just for members on updates and stuff like that. So that's gonna be the end of this video, guys. Let me know if you like this. Subscribe for more content. I got a couple more things coming for this Tundra that are planned. Hopefully this video comes out when it's supposed to, but there's nothing else to say, guys. This light is bright, it's blinding me right now, so thank you for watching. Hope you have a good one. Bye.